Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we unpack corporate secrets and see if they are hiding any skeletons in the filing cabinet. Today we are looking at Parks America Incorporated, and let me tell you there might be some surprising news about their performance. So this is a report filed with the US Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC for short. Think of them as the ultimate watchdogs for publicly traded companies. This particular form is called an 8K report, and it basically tells us about some big events that are happening right now with the company. It's like a breaking news alert for investors. This just means the company is following the rules set by the Securities Exchange Act of 1934. It is the foundational law for how stock markets operate in the US. The report itself is dated the 12th of December 2025. This is important because it tells us when the information we are about to discuss became official. The company we are dissecting today is Parks America, Incorporated, a name that might ring a bell for some. They are incorporated in Nevada. That's not too unusual for companies. And their main office address is in Pine Mountain, Georgia. That's where the principal executive offices are located. Now we get to the juicy part, the actual business update. On the 12th of December 2025, Parks America Incorporated put out a news release. This news release is the star of this particular filing because it reports on their financial results for the last quarter and the entire fiscal year that ended on the 28th of September 2025. It also gives us a snapshot of their financial health as of that date. This is a technical detail, but it is important. It means the company is providing this information as a courtesy, and it is not officially being filed as part of the permanent record in the same way other parts of the report might be. So while it's important information, it doesn't carry the same legal weight as a formally filed document. Let's look at how their shares are doing. Their common stock trades under the symbol PRK on the OTCQX exchange. The over-the-counter quality system is a way for smaller companies to trade their stocks outside of the big exchanges like the New York Stock Exchange. This section is essentially a table of contents for all the documents attached to this report. It tells us what supporting materials are included. The first exhibit listed is 99.1. This is the actual news release that we just talked about. It contains all the detailed financial information that the company wanted to share. Exhibit 104 is what is known as an interactive data file. This is a modern way of presenting financial information in a format that computers can easily read and process. It makes it much easier for analysts and investors to sift through the numbers. And finally, we have the signatures. This is where the company's authorized representatives sign off on the report, saying that everything in it is true and accurate to the best of their knowledge. Here we see the signature of Rebecca S. McGraw, who is the Chief Financial Officer of Parks America Incorporated. As the CFO, she is fundamentally responsible for the company's financial reporting, and this signature confirms her endorsement of the report's contents. Now let's dive into what this news release attached as Exhibit 99.1 actually tells us, because that is where the real story is. Based on the limited information in this 8K, we know they reported on their fourth fiscal quarter and full fiscal year results ending the 28th of September 2025. While this specific filing doesn't contain the full financial tables themselves, it points us to that news release, which is key. We would typically expect to see things like revenue growth or declined profit margins, earnings, per S-hair, and key balance sheet items like assets and liabilities. For example, if that news release showed a significant increase in revenue, it would mean more customers are buying their products or services, which is obviously good. If profits are also up, then they are not only selling more, but they are also keeping more of the money they make after paying their expenses. On the flip side, if revenue is down, but profits are up, that could signal a company that is cutting costs aggressively, maybe even too aggressively, which can sometimes hurt long-term growth. If both revenue and profits are down, it indicates a tougher period the company is navigating. Looking back from a broader perspective, we would want to compare these 2025 results to their 2024 performance. Are they growing year over year, or are they shrinking? A consistent upward trend in revenue and earnings is a sign of a healthy and expanding business. However, if we see a pattern of decline even with a good quarter here or there, it might suggest underlying issues. Wednesday also want to understand what their main business is to interpret these numbers correctly. Are they in a growing industry or a struggling one? For instance, if they are in a sector that is booming but their sales are flat, it's a red flag. The fact that they are filing an 8 specifically to report on results from a news release suggests they either had significant positive or negative news to share, or they are meeting a specific deadline for disclosure. This is often where you find the most critical updates on a company's health. Without the actual numbers from that news release, it is hard to give a definitive judgment, but this filing is the gateway to that crucial information. My take on this filing is that it is a very standard procedural document that points us towards important financial information that the company has already released via a separate news statement. The real story is in that news release that is attached as Exhibit 99.1. To truly understand Parks America Incorporated's performance and direction, we need to examine those financial results closely. Are they showing growth? Are they profitable? Are their expenses under control? And what does this mean for their future prospects? The filing itself doesn't give us those answers, but it tells us where to find them. Alright, that is our breakdown of this Parks America Incorporated filing. What is your take on this situation and what they might be reporting? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching. See you next time.